I'll read you any comments. All right.
Hello, here we are again. So I'm coming to you live. It's kind of a hectic day, but I'm getting excited because today I'm getting all the girl stuff done. It's time to be ready for the London conference. I'm leaving for London tomorrow morning, and I'll be speaking at Meeting of the Minds in Europe, be held there at the Marriott at Heathrow Airport. So I'm pretty excited about this. I'm really honored that Damien chose me to speak because my topic is going to be raising the standards in education. And I know it's going to be a little bit of a soft spot with some people because we're not really doing things in this industry yet like we do in other industries. As you all know, here in the United States, every state, sometimes every jurisdiction, the requirements for education and the requirements for licensing is a little bit loosey-goosey. Some are really, really tight and rigid, and others don't have any kind of licensing at all. So those of you that know me and my background in education with this, it's really close to the heart, and I really fought hard to build a program that we built, as have many others in permanent makeup, you know, the builders of SPCP and people that support that organization, trying to standardize and keep us professional. So I'm thrilled to death to be getting ready to go. Got my nails done. I'm getting ready to go get hair done. And I thought I would just tell you guys a little bit about what I'm going to talk about here because it pertains to you. We've talked about this once before in one of my short videos that you can pick up on YouTube, but it's about training. You know, how do you find good training? If we don't have standardization in place, we don't have training requirements, then how does a student know, you know, where to go and how they're going to get good training and not get ripped off? So raising the standards in education, I think probably the basis of my speech there is going to be about fundamental training. I think one of the biggest things we see right now, part of it is time and money. You know, nobody wants to pay a lot for education, and we all know that education is expensive. It's not cheap. But as a trainer, you know, how do I get an affordable price point, and how do I get all the information that you possibly need in? And the majority of people coming into SMP, a lot of people coming into permanent cosmetics, they're coming from non-related fields. You know, if you're a nurse, of course, you've got a lot of the basics down for safety and sanitation. And if you're, you know, you have a background in business, well, then you're going to have a head start when it comes to promoting yourself. Some people are already tattooing. They've got basic fundamentals in that area. But we can never assume that a student has the fundamentals that they need to have a good, solid foundation to start this business. So when many of you watched the needle theory video that I did here a month or so back, people were like, I've been doing this 7 years. I've never gotten this information. That's about as basic as it gets, folks. That should be in these trainings. So I'm going to be talking about that and how that's going to impact our industry. I think that my biggest point as far as the level of professionalism is that, you know, knowledge is power. You've heard me say that before. And as educators and practitioners in the field, we need to know that the foundation and the requirements that we set forth for ourselves in standardizing affects every one of us as professionals. So I'll be talking about that hot and heavy. I just want to bring up a couple things for you to think about, though. How do you find good training? You know, I think that the very first thing I would tell you as a student, I still do it when I'm in a train. I want to get on the phone. I don't want to email these people. I want to get on the phone. I want to talk to them. I want to know who they are. I want that voice on the other end of the phone telling me who they are and what they teach. Gives me a really good read on what kind of person they are. If they're rushing me off, if they don't have time to talk to me now about a class and I'm getting ready to send them how many $1,000, do I really think they're probably going to talk to me or have any time for me in class? Or even more so, what about after? So I recommend that students call. And those of you that are my students, you know, I spend way too much time on the phone giving you a ton of information. I probably yak your ear off, but I am willing to give you the information you need to make the decision. Am I the right training for you? Do we mesh? Do we click? It's important that you click with an instructor. Am I training what you want to learn? Am I covering the bases? You know, what do I provide? When do you need to be there? All the details. So I feel like the best thing you can do is pick up the phone and call them directly. Don't let someone just sell it to you. Don't go to a service. Don't do it on an email. The other thing, check their credentials, stalk them, read their reviews, do whatever you need to do. I've had students tell me that they have followed me for over a year and literally stalked me. But that's fine. It's, again, a lot of money, and it's your career and it's your foundation. It's the material that you need, that you're paying for. Find out if they're the ones. Check their reviews. If they don't treat their clients well, do you really think they'll treat you well? There's lots of ways to look to seek out an instructor. I think their portfolio is another thing. Look at their personal portfolio. We all know that there's people out there advertising. They've barely been training. They've barely been working, and they're already training. 3 months, 6 months, they've done 2 heads or they've done 5 sets of eyebrows, and they think they can train you. Check their portfolio. If they have excuses, they don't have a portfolio for you that's extensive, they probably don't need to be training you.
Kevin Langley says, never a truer word said.
Oh, thanks, Kevin.
Karen says hi.
Hi, Karen. Hi, everybody that's watching.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm just rambling because can you tell I'm hyped up? I got a lot to do and I got to get on a jet. I'm kind of getting a little, give us a 1 if you're watching us right now, please. Let us know so we can track where everyone's coming from. Let us know where you're watching from. And also a 2 if you're watching us on replay. And I'm always plugging because I'm trying to build this YouTube channel. It seems like it's taking forever. But go to my Pam's Impressions. Pam apostrophe S Impressions. That's what we do. And check out some things on there. There's tidbits of training and there's theories and ideas and things that I just think. And when I can't sleep, I record. So, but we're trying to build that for you because it's like shop talk. Not all of us have got someone to bounce ideas off of. That's why I'm going to this conference. I'm flying around the world because A, I get inspired, but B, I learn, and we all we share our thoughts, we share our experiences, we share our ideas, we share every single thing, and that's how we network and build our businesses every day. And if you are in a place where you're the only tech, you don't have people. I mean, social media is great, but it's nice to sit down and have a cup of coffee or a glass of wine with somebody and just have shop talk. So that's kind of what I do on those because I'm out there in the middle of nowhere where I live and I have ideas to share. So guess what? You guys get them.
So Teresa's saying, I'm probably not supposed to be doing this, but I'm actually listening to you and watching you while I drive.
Oh my gosh. All right.
And
I don't know what to say about that.
Not responsible. And then Bloom Beauty says, watching you from Oklahoma, loved your training. I feel so confident after seeing my first SMP client after your class. Thank you.
Tony. Yeah.
And then Kevin also is...
Thank you, Tony. I'm expecting great things out of you. Tony's building a brand new shop. Some of you don't know that in the state of Oklahoma, you don't have the freedom to do permanent cosmetics, and also scalp would fall into that. Unless you are under an advising doctor, you have to be in an oversight position. So she's got a place set up right there at the medical clinic. Very, very difficult in that state to do what we do. So you can have a tattoo shop, but you can't draw on people's faces or work on their heads. You can't do any of those things. So she's overcome that and is rocking out a great new center that she's going to have multiple people offering these services within her facility, and it'll all fall under that medical advisory umbrella. So we're pretty lucky to be out here where we are. It's a little tough for some of these people.
And then Kevin is saying, newer techs like me look up to those like yourself. Queen Bee of SMP. I like that.
Thank you, Kevin. Are you going to London? Gosh, I hope so. I'd be anxious to meet you there live. And for that comment, I think drinks will be on me. So I really appreciate it. I'm really excited about it. When I went 2 years ago, it was quite the experience. That was the very first meeting of the minds. Scalp Guru, it was Scalp Guru back then. Now it's Team Micro. But he put on just an amazing event, and people from all over the world came to talk about scalp and where this industry was going, and being able to talk with those guys in Europe who have been doing this far longer than we have in the United States. It is really inspiring to me, the knowledge that they have and the experience that they have under their belt. So I am so jazzed, I can't tell you. So I'll be on a jet and I'll be working on that flight, trying to figure out, some other things I've got going on. But when I get there, it is going to be, it'll be a blast. It's quite the learning experience, but it also is a ton of fun to be with these people.
And Kevin says absolutely, and that you did meet before, and he's stalked you since.
Oh, dear God. Oh, my gosh. So now I'm really in trouble. Well, I will look forward to it. I'm going to be there early in the morning. Probably won't even be able to check in my room. So I think I'm going to have Bailey's and coffee so I can go in and take a nap before all this starts. So the jet lag is unbelievable doing that flight. Whew. I will look forward to it. So let's get back to this because I don't want to keep you guys very long. These things always drag out. Pin these people down on their ongoing support. If you're looking at a trainer, pin them down. I had people tell me, oh yeah, we offer ongoing support and oh, we'll be there for you. And I spent thousands of dollars and I made one phone call and the attitude was already a little bit testy. I made a second call and the attitude had gone to the toilet. I mean, literally on the second phone call to this woman that had just professed to be there with me for the rest of my life, helping me. I know that's not realistic, but come on. I didn't spend a ton of time on my first call. It was just a quick question. So my second phone call, I was told, look, we can't babysit you. You got the information you needed. Now you need to just figure this out. Alrighty then. So pin them down and ask them, what does that mean? Are you going to charge me $500 every time I call you? Pin them down. What does ongoing support mean? 2 texts, 5 phone calls? I want to know. And get it in writing. That's the next thing I have in my notes here. People, when you call me and you ask me about taking a training from me, I am going to send you a course description. It's going to have pretty much every single topic matter that we're covering on there. I do it because I want you to know what you're paying for. I want you to know what you're going to get from me. I want to know what you expect. If I give that to you, if there's something missing, you can ask me directly. But the single biggest reason it's there is for you for defense. I learned a long time ago when someone told me all the things they were going to give me in my training, and they gave me the cost, and I didn't get but maybe 3 points on this on this list that she had told me on the phone. I didn't have it in writing. So if I want to go back and try to get some kind of legal recourse because I've been ripped off on a training, if you don't have a course description or you don't have a contract with them that lists what's supposed to be in the training, you don't have a leg to stand on. It's very simple. Any good trainer is going to give you a course description, and it should itemize everything that's in that class down to lunch and snacks. All that should be in there. So I tell you that because hopefully you won't ever need it, but if you need it and you don't have it, I mean, I can't tell you how many students that have asked me, what do I do? And that's the first question I ask them, and unfortunately they're out of luck. They paid the money and the trainer's flown the coop and they're out the money. So make sure that you get things in writing, get a good contract written, or it doesn't have to be an ongoing legal thing. Just get a good description and an actual invoice with what you're paying for the class and dates. Alrighty, so I'm gonna just get out of here. I need to get my hair done. If you guys have questions about anything concerning training, you are always welcome to message me. I will always support you there. And in the S&P industry, we still don't have a guild. We started working towards one. A friend at the Brandwood Clinic has been diligently working on building a guild that's going to kind of standardize things for us. But the SPCP is a perfect example again, and I bring that up because they want you to have a minimum of 100 hours for basic training. Well, you all know in trying to learn safety and sanitation alone can take you quite some time to learn it. Not just setting up your tray. I'm talking safety and sanitation. You need to learn a lot about your own personal protection. You need to learn a lot about cross-contamination. All these things takes a long time. Basic legal issues. We have people training in this state every day that aren't legal. They think, oh, I don't need a license to train there, or I don't need to do this, I don't need to do that. But there are laws outside of the tattoo licensing that trainers need to abide by. Every single place I go and teach, I have to check. Am I legal to teach in that state? Happens all the time. So again, if a trainer is not willing to take the time to check out and be legal themselves, what are they going to be training you? You know, there's lots and lots of guides here, and we're trying to get some kind of standardization, and that's part of why I'm going to talk about what I'm talking about. Not that I like to stir up the weeds, but and make people angry, but come on, we need to be thinking about it for the sake of the student and for the sake of the industry, because it's not fair to you, and it's certainly not fair to our clients when a student doesn't get proper training. So all that said, I will be back in the States before too long. I'm going to take a little side trip and have some fun. Renata and I are going to Portugal as well. But I've got a couple of things coming up here in the next few weeks when we get back. I'm thinking about doing a video on stroke length for machines. I've had quite a few people ask, what is stroke length? So that'll be probably one of our next little educational videos that we throw out there. So stay tuned. Make sure that you click on notifications so that you will get notified whenever we're going to do another video. But remember to give us a 1 if you're watching us live, give us a 2 if you're watching us on replay, and go to Pam's Impressions and kind of get subscribed on YouTube and click that little bell so you'll get the notifications of when we have upcoming videos. And write down your questions, because your questions are how I decide what I'm going to talk about next. So I will look forward to seeing you guys next time. Wish me luck. Bought a new suit. I hope everything goes well. Thanks.